Hello everyone, my name is Ivan Lopez Valdivia. I'm a PhD student at Penn State University. I am working with Professor Jonathan Lynch. My focus is root modeling, and today we're gonna explain how to download OpenSimRoot, how to run it, and how to use it, or how to see the results. So to start, we can go to Google and we can search for OpenSimRoot. And then we're gonna find a website, which is the GitLab website. And in this website, we're gonna see a general description of the model. We're gonna find some articles that explain in detail what is this model about. And we're gonna find this download section. So right here in this download section, we're gonna get into the get source code, and we're gonna click right here. We're gonna accept. Sorry for the mower's noise. It's my neighbor. And here we're gonna get the zip code. So we're gonna download the zip, and then you're gonna extract the data from the zip. I'm gonna delete this for now. And once you download, you're gonna find a folder which contains several files. In this case, I am showing here what files we have. And for instance, we're gonna have two important files for this video, which are gonna be the executable in one hand and the input file, file. Anyway, we're gonna see where is the executable. So we're gonna go to OpenSimRoot. We're gonna go to a static build, and then we're gonna find it right here. So in your files that you just download, you will not have it because we need to compile this executable, and I will show you how in this video. So for now, we're going to delete this file, and then I just want to show you where is the input file for Maze. In this case, we go to input files right here, and we find different input files. In this case, for barley, bean, maize, rice, squash, and other crops are in development, but these are the ones we have available for now. So then let's focus in the executable file. We're gonna run the script that build the file. In this case, is the build script right here. So and we need to do it in WSL. So we're gonna find here, or you can download WSL, which is a Linux terminal for Windows. And then the first thing that we need to do is to go to the location where our files are. So we're gonna go backwards twice. And I also recommend you to get familiar with the Linux syntax, so you're able to go back and forth and do whatever you need here. So we're gonna go backwards twice. We're gonna go to username, my username, and then we're gonna go to the OpenSimRoot folder. No, desktop, and the OpenSimRoot folder, and we are right here. So as I mentioned before, the build sh file is the one that we need for compiling this. So we're gonna run it with bash build. And this might take around 2 to 3 minutes. It's not very slow. So we're just gonna wait for it, and I'm gonna be back once it's done. Okay, it seems that the compilation is done. So now what we're gonna do is try to run the OpenSimRoot. Well, we got to verify that the executable is right here. So we're gonna go back here, OpenSimRoot, static build, and here we have the file. As you can see, the file was made 1 minute ago, which means that it's working. So, or it worked. So what we're gonna do now is try to run OpenSimRoot. So we have our terminal right here, the WSL. So the first thing that we need to do is make a folder or a directory to put our results there. So we're gonna go backwards twice to go to the desktop, and in the desktop we're gonna make a directory, and we're gonna call it results. Results. That's it. Okay, it says it exists, so we will try a results tree. Okay, so we're gonna go to the directory we just made, results tree, and we are inside the directory now. And from here, what we're gonna do is, in one hand, run or call the executable, and in the other hand, call the input file. And we need to know the locations of both. So if you remember, the executable was in the static build folder, right? So we're going to go backwards once, go to OpenSimRoot master, OpenSimRoot, static build, and OpenSimRoot, and this is the executable. And then we're gonna do the same for the input file, right? So we're gonna go backwards once, OpenSimRoot master, OpenSimRoot, in this case will be input files, and we're gonna select run maze XML. Here we go. So we have both the executable space, the input file, and we're gonna click enter, and now we have the simulation running. So it's important to mention that this simulation is the root system itself. We are not including the soil, and therefore the simulation is gonna be faster. But in next videos, we're gonna show how to include the soil files and how to include the soil files and how to analyze the data. So this might take around 10 or 5 minutes, but for the convenience of our video, I already run the simulation. Well, maybe it will be worth it to show you how the simulation is running here. So for instance, we are now in day 21, and at some point day 22 is gonna come right here, and then day 23, and we're gonna generate all the data points. All right, so as I mentioned, I already run the simulations, and I have the results right here. I'm gonna delete these ones. I was just playing around with the model before making the video, just to make sure we have the results. But these are all the results we find. So as you can see here, the simulation run for 40 days. And every of these BTP files include a 3D reconstruction of the roots. That's in one hand, and in the other hand we have the table output file, which include the raw data for all the variables. In this case, we can just open it to show you. So it's a regular table which include names and different variables for name. And for each variable, it has values in a particular time. For instance, let's look for shoot dry weight, and you can see at day 0, the shoot dry weight is 0, and then you can see how when we start going further in time, we can see how the shoot dry weight start increasing. And we have other variables such as root respiration, root length, carbon reserves, etc. So in order to analyze this data or to look at it more easily, I developed an R script that basically just extract the data, and then you can plot it and you can see how it looks. So the first thing that you need to do is set the directory right here. I'm gonna put this script in the description of the video so you can see see, you can just download or you can just copy and paste in your computer. But basically you just need to replace this location by the location you have your data, right? So we're just gonna run this. We're gonna load the packages we need. We're gonna load the results in this object, and you can see the same information but in R. And let's say that we wanna filter for dry weight and just plot what will be the dry weight. So in this case we just click here and we can see how the dry weight goes. Or if we want the root dry weight, we can just change to root dry weight. Or you can, explore what other variables you have here. For instance, let's look at the root volume. It might have more or less the same pattern, or maybe the stress factor. Since we don't have a stress in this particular simulation, it's gonna be 0 or 1, sorry, all the time, which means no stress. Well, let's look at the root length at profile. This one, just as an example. We can see how the root lengths start coming to the 30 to 40. So we can see a different pattern, right? Maybe let's try day 40 to 50. Yeah, we have a slight different pattern. We can just plot all of these together. But anyway, the point is that this script helps you to plot every variable. And if let's say that you want to make a folder with all the variables. So here I am just extracting with this script all the names for the possible variables that we have. Here we have a vector with all the variables. And when we run the next chunk of code, it's going to produce a PDF file which includes all the results. So this PDF is going to go to the file that we were working. Not this one, but this one, which is where I have the results, is right here. Do you see? So in this case, we're going to have the plot for every variable. These first ones are environmental variables, atmospheric one particularly. So there is not much variation. Well, except for some, for instance, precipitation. We can see every day there is a different amount of precipitation. But maybe we can just go to the more interesting ones. I mean, this depends of the interest of you, right? Depending what you are interested in. But for instance, we can just again look at the shoot. We have carbon allocation to shoot, relative carbon allocation to shoot dry weight, shoot respiration. We have many variables. Okay, this is one way to see the results. And there is another way to see the results. As I mentioned before, every of these BTP files contains 3D or information for the 3D structure of the roots. So if you open one of these, you can see the root system in a particular day. But if you want to see the whole, the whole time or the 40 days together, you can just open this one, the visualization root, which I open here, but I'm gonna close this. So we're gonna just open this one. So here is the root system, and then we can use play and see how it grows. This is day 21, but we'll go back to day 0. Let's stop at day 5. Okay, so this is how the roots look like. And now we're gonna set a background, and for convenience of our video, we're gonna color this. So in this section you can color. In this case we're gonna color by root class ID, and we're gonna make this color a categorical variable, because the color have a numerical key. So we want this program to interpret that as a category, not as a number, right? Not as a continuous variable. So here we have here we have the root system. Sorry. This is the root system. If you are familiar with maze roots, you can tell that this is the primary root, right? This is the coleoptile, and right here are the seminal roots emerging. You can see how they emerge and how lateral roots are coming for every root segment. And then from the first node, the first nodal roots are coming, and in the meantime, you know, the root system keeps growing. And then eventually the second nodal root system are gonna come from this section right here, from right here, see, and then the third node and the fourth node, and the root system keeps growing and growing. So this is basically it for now. Please run the simulation, let me know if it worked or not, and yeah, play with this root system. They are very cool, as you can see, and I'm gonna post another video soon describing how we can use soil and how can we run simulation in a batch using a cluster. Okay, but that will be for later. So thank you so much for watching and take care. Ciao.